Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Skipplings! Welcome to this week's episode of the Nintendo Shack Podcast, Direct Day 2024. We have made it. It is June. How are you guys feeling? And Delvin's back! Welcome back, Delvin!
Mazel tov, bitches.
I hear you now. I hear you very loud and clear at this point.
I also hear me echoing through.
Yeah, that's
Delvin.
Delvin's headphones, I'd imagine.
Oh, it's working now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound loud and clear.
Yeah,
What
but we
the
can
fuck did
also
I do?
hear ourselves coming through your microphone.
Oh. I'm scared to touch anything now.
We were
Ladies and gentlemen, we're running a
troubleshooting.
little late because we had technical difficulties, but they seem to magically corrected themselves at some point.
Big baby Jesus came in the fourth quarter.
Delvin
and-
started jiggling some cables and shit started working, apparently.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I started jiggling. Jiggling, baby. Go ahead, baby.
Guys, we have a lot to talk about. It's only been a couple days since me and Donnie had the last Nintendo Shack, but now that
Yep.
Delvin's here, just in time for the Nintendo Direct, which may be possibly the last Nintendo Direct of the Nintendo Switch console lifespan.
Brr, brr, brr.
Dun,
Do you
dun,
believe that?
dun.
I don't.
After today, I don't know. I don't know.
I
Before
mean, I
it
guess
was
maybe you
open.
could like do semantics and you could be like, partner directs don't count or indie directs
No,
don't count.
yeah,
But I mean,
yeah.
I still think they'll do one more. No, maybe maybe they'll include some Switch 2 stuff in that, but I don't think we're
Yeah.
done quite yet.
It doesn't seem so after today. We have a lot to talk about. There was quite a number of games announced today.
A lot.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Donnie wrote out the notes for today's show. You have it kind of, organized in what wasn't here, the too long didn't read, second,
Yeah.
third party stuff, and then the meaty first party stuff.
Yeah.
Is that how we want to tackle it?
That's how I thought we would tackle it.
All right. Hit
You
us
want me to
with
take
what
it?
was not here today.
Yeah, so we cover all the rumors here. We like to talk about them, and it's interesting just to keep us 100. We talked about all these rumors, things that we were expecting. A lot of those things that we were expecting weren't here at all. So, for example, there's no Metroid Prime 2 or 3 here today.
Sag.
That felt like a gimme. Like that was an easy one. Like, of course, those will be there. Of course, they were not. Sakurai did not show up with the famed Kid Icarus port. That was nowhere to be found.
I think you were the only one thinking that, Donnie.
No. There's videos made about that. People are like,
Mm.
this is for real happening. He just wrapped up his YouTube channel and people are like, this is it. There was no Mario sports game. A lot of people were convinced we were getting Mario baseball sluggers from Camelot or whatever. It was not here. There was no Pokemon or Kirby games.
Okay, I did not think there was going to be any Pokemon. They like to save it for their own shindig, but the no Kirby is surprising.
Yeah, not a Kirby to be found. There was no Fire Emblem game.
Yeah.
And that's pretty shocking because everybody knows that they have a Fire Emblem game that's ready to go. This has been widely reported. Like, it's not even, I don't even think it's up for question. Like, there's like 20 outlets that are like, they're literally sitting on a completed Fire Emblem game.
Well, what else has been widely reported on that they're sitting on that
Yeah, but
was
it's
shown
different.
today?
Wind Waker and Twilight Princess was not here. Tier. And I'm going to come back to
I
this
can't be sad.
later.
Can't be sad.
And then the eternal Silk Song was nowhere to be found. Now, you'd asked me this 3 weeks ago, which I'm sure we covered on multiple podcasts. I was like, it's got to show up this time. It has to. It's time. It was not time.
No, it was not.
Well,
No Silk Song.
isn't this going to be shown by Microsoft first to begin with?
We thought that because at the Xbox show 2 years ago, that's where it was. But the Xbox show came and went, and it wasn't there either. So, Team Cherry's like, you know what? We'll do it when we want to.
Team Cherry Direct.
Switch 3 exclusive. It's like I don't know when anybody expects it. Watch this thing still come out. Like watch it like shadow drop in the middle of September or some shit.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Just like, and it's out today.
That would not be good. That means it's not a good game. That's how Sports
Uh-oh.
Story dropped.
Yeah, fair. I got more faith in them than the Sports Story devs, though. So those games were not here today. Now there were a lot of games here today. This next batch I've put into the column that I've titled "Too Long Didn't Read," because literally I have nothing to say about them.
There's nothing here that I care about.
But I will group them together kind of quickly, and if you want to say something about it, now would be your time.
Okay.
So in the direct, there was Just Dance, Tales of the Shire, Among Us got an update today. There's a game called Phantom Brave: The Lost Hero that comes out next year. Fairy Tail 2 comes out this summer. Farmasia comes out in November. It's a marvelous game where you fight monsters and farm sim. So who in the hell decided to make that game? Romancing Saga 2. I had to look at that twice. That's a game. The 100-line Last Defense Academy comes out next year.
That looked weird.
There's an update to Disney Illusion that's out today. That's a good game. Looney Tunes, The Wacky World of Sports comes out.
I'm interested in this.
That's a game mill game.
That looks fun, but it's probably going to be terrible.
Spam
gonna
the
Game
game.
It's going to be bad.
It's going to be awful. It's going to
It's
be
gonna be bad.
fantastically awful.
I mean, it's game mill. Like, it's not going to be great.
They have one speed. Terrible.
They really do. But they're the ones that make all like the SpongeBob karting and stuff like that. So here's how to do the game mill thing. We'll stop and talk about game mill for a minute. What you do is you wait for it to release. They're going to try to sell this thing at like $50 or $60. You don't buy it. You give it 8 weeks and you buy it on the eShop for $3.99. And then you come to the show and you're like, you know what? It's not so bad for $4. It's kind of fun.
Their best game is the SpongeBob games.
Yeah,
Like the SpongeBob and
they're
Nickelodeon
not
Brawl
bad.
games.
They're
Yeah.
bad for $60.
Yes.
But if you get them for like $7 or $8, like
Yeah.
there's fun to be had there.
Yes. They've also
That's how much
made
it
the
cost.
King Kong game and the famous Walking Dead game. That's the worst game I've ever played in my life.
And the King Kong is really bad.
Yes.
Yeah. But I was kind of, it is sports and basketball and stuff. So Metal Slug Attack Reloaded is a tower defense mobile game that came out on iOS in 2016. It's been delisted from the iOS store. So it's a gacha game and they're bringing it to Switch. It's out today. You can buy it for $10.
I feel like there's so many of those. Like every time there's always a new one, but it's like a rehash of an old one.
And Metal Slug is kind of going through it. They're making anything but a Metal Slug game.
Yeah.
They're like, here's a match 3 Metal Slug and Metal Slug Fighters and Metal Slug Tactics and Metal Slug Tower Defense. Like, how about you just make Metal Slug? We see that you want to. Like, somebody cares. Just make an actual Metal Slug game and we'll buy it.
They're like, nah.
You're right.
got time.
Exactly. Like, no, you're going to get this turn-based card battler Metal Slug game. You're like, what the fuck?
Here's this match 3 Metal Slug.
Yeah. What are they doing over there?
Metal Slug Pachinko machine.
And then the last one in this group is the new Denpa Man. Men. This comes out July 22nd. It kind of had like some Animal Crossing vibes that you're like putting stuff
it
down
didn't.
on
It didn't.
tiles
It
and
did
like
not have Animal
sidewalks.
Crossing vibes.
It
No.
kind of did.
No, it didn't.
You offended Rebecca with that comment.
She's like, I'm not gonna take the slander. So I say all that to say that like I don't give a shit about any of those games. No offense, man, but like, oof. This direct was
If I was still into Among Us, cool, but I haven't played it in a long time.
this direct is interesting because we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about it. Generally speaking, like the fanfare for this direct is massive. People love it. Like they're screaming through the roof.
Yeah.
This direct had a lot of highs, but it also had some of the lowest of lows. There were moments of this direct I was like, "What the fuck? What is going on? Why
That
is this
100-line
here?"
Last Defense Academy, I was like, who plays this?
That made perfect sense to me because that is made by the creator of the Danganronpa games. So nerds who like Danganronpa will probably go crazy. For that
Jace.
game. Yes.
I know one person that plays Danganronpa.
Okay.
It's the same person for a decade. It's the same. There's not one new person I've met. Just the one guy.
That is correct. Yes.
So we can move on. No more
Yes.
thoughts there. All right. So sorry to those games, those developers, but they're not for us. Now the next group that I've done is second, third-party games. So we'll start and go through these a little slower. And we'll start with Darkest Dungeon 2. This comes out July 15th. That's really soon. That's kind of an indie darling.
I'm interested in that one.
Good reviews. I've read that it's frustrating. It can be difficult.
Oh, not for me.
But it's got its cool little style, and it does its thing. It was well received on consoles. So, and it's the type of like game that should translate to Switch pretty well. Yeah. I wouldn't worry too much about performance or anything like that. Okay. Fantasian. This game was previously on Apple Arcade. It comes from the story designer of the Fable or the Final Fantasy series. It is like its own thing. Interesting about this, it's been on Apple Arcade forever. This was like rated. We knew this one was coming. So this wasn't a surprise. It doesn't come out until this winter though.
Yeah.
I kind of thought this would be one of those and it's out now sort of deals. Like they're like, nah, it'll be
winter
out.
can mean anything from like November
Could mean next year
to like March.
Yeah. So that was kind of surprising. I was like, I don't know how many people are. I do think there are people that are like excited that it's coming. Because there are people that just don't want to play anything on phones or mobile. Like they just won't,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how good the game is. I don't know if it's like really good or if it's like good for a mobile game. You know what I'm saying?
Might be the latter.
Yeah, like is it a good mobile game or is it like a really good game? I don't know. I don't know where that fits. We'll see. I guess we'll find out. XPS says Good Vibe says it's one of the best mobile games. I mean, yeah, in the mobile space, they really like it. But again, that's my question. Is that because it's in the mobile space? Compared to the 8 million other RPGs on Switch, is it also great? I don't know. Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake is a hell of a name to put on your game box. I'm just going to
name.
There's a lot of numbers.
Dragon Quest times 2 to the second power.
I don't know
Fist
that
of
they
North
needed
Star.
to put HD 2D in the title.
Yeah, not in the title.
Like I think we know. Like that's like saying like Ori and the Will of the Wisps Metroidvania.
Yeah. So this remake that was announced years ago drops November 14th. Any thoughts? Nothing on Dragon Quest is a big game for today.
Beautiful. It's very beautiful.
Gorgeous.
I
Does
like
look
it.
great.
This might be my gateway drug into Dragon Quest.
Nice. That'd be awesome. This is like the OG. I have played them. It has been so long. I don't remember a thing about them, and I definitely did not finish them. And I will probably buy these and also, once again, not finish them. Because I just kind of want to like look at the cool graphics and see the stuff. And then after about a couple hours, I'll be like, okay, I'm bored. And
that's okay.
I'll probably do something else. So that's coming out November 14th. Dragon Quest 3 Remake. Then sometimes next year, we will get Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake. So they're giving to us 3 and then 1 and then 2.
Was right.
Yes.
Correct. The rumor was right, but we're not getting the trilogy all at once.
Back in my day, these games were called Dragon Warrior. Back in the 1800s, the good old days of black and white Nintendo games.
I think Dragon Warrior is a better name.
I forgot. I wanted to talk to you guys about how I watched the Direct today.
Oh.
So I'm not sure how you guys watched the Direct, but I've been up since 4 a.m. We had elections today.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So I was working in elections, was in the middle of a call center, like 100 people taking calls, everything, watching this Direct, like huddled over my cubicle, like with the volume just barely so I could hear it. So I don't have maybe all of the details that was talked about on the stream. I only could like really take away what I could see. I haven't had a chance to rewatch it yet either. But this one's funny because I was tweeting as it was coming out. I was trying to tweet like I usually do during announcements. And I was like, so they're going to sell us 3, then 2, then 1. Like why are we doing this? And somebody,
Yeah,
ahead.
they explained it right after, so you probably missed that.
so it's the chronological order. So it's like Metal Gear. 3 is
Yes.
1, and then right. So I
Exactly.
was like, I see. Okay, I get it now. Got
Yeah,
it.
he did explain that. You were probably like
Yeah.
tweeting about it.
Yeah. I'm
while-
just
while
reacting.
he
I'm just
explained
like,
it.
because I was
Yeah,
like,
he
why
said
not
it's
just
the
put them all
chronological.
together? This
Mhm.
game has been in the works for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Because also back in my day, we didn't get the first game. They always gave us like the third and fourth game
Yeah,
first.
yeah,
True.
exactly. Clock Tower. I say Clock Tower, and in America, that's actually Clock Tower too. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes,
And
correct.
Final Fantasy is like, isn't it the worst?
Yes.
Like Final Fantasy 3 is 5 and 1 is 3.
6
and
is
so
really
Correct.
yeah. 3 is really
Yes.
6 with yeah.
What a mess.
yeah.
I always think about that. I'll never forget this. And I say I I say I'll never forget this literally as I forgot the guy's name. There's a Nintendo. It used to be leaker reporter Liam.
Liam Robertson.
He had a tweet one day about something about, I think it was Call of Duty. It was. He had a tweet when Call of Duty Modern Warfare came out, like the remake. And he had a picture of Call of Duty Modern Warfare from like 2008 and then the one from 2019. And he was like, how are people supposed to keep up? And then like, I took a picture of like all of the RPGs and like I was like, somehow y'all figured this map out. I don't think it's that fucking hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always think of him when these sort of things come up. So yeah, Dragon Quest comes out in November.
Cool.
Seems pretty fun. Lego Horizons Adventures got another trailer. We still have yet to get a release date.
Didn't they like the release windows like holiday 2024 something like that?
Yeah, just holiday. Sometime this
So I'll-
holiday.
I
It'll
would
be
guess, like-
sometime November.
No, that's what I was going to guess.
I'm wondering if they're holding on to it because the fall is kind of. I wonder if they're trying to find a place for it.
Yeah, this
Or
might
if they're
be
like, where should we put it? December, January, like you
Yeah.
know, like it might be one of those situations.
Yeah, I can see this slide into January.
The footage today looked like the Switch copy. If I had, like, that was my takeaway. I was like, so this is what the Switch version looks like, and I was like, this looks pretty good. Like, I'm totally down to get this on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going to play it, Delvin?
That's a good question. I don't know yet. Probably Switch.
Because I'm lucky, I get to play Haley's copy too, so I get to play
Yeah.
both, and I can like,
Yeah, I already have Horizon on PS5, so I can just play this on Switch.
yeah, I
whole
got to get on
different experience.
Switch. I need it for the box copy alone. Just like one day in the future, I got to have the copy to be like, remember that day PlayStation put their game on the Switch? You
On
know,
everywhere except Xbox.
that's a common trend these days. Put it everywhere but Xbox.
Yikes.
Jeez.
Yeah.
A pretty exciting announcement. So I'm on our Twitter feed, the Shack Life Twitter feed. I'm retweeting like either impressions from friends or articles. But a lot of times during the directs, like other territories will have an announcement up before like the direct catches up to it.
Mm-hmm.
So this was that.
That's correct.
We're in the direct. I'm watching some 100-line bullshit nonsense. Like, oh, this is ridiculous. And then I see this tweet from like Nintendo Japan, where it's like all the Marvel cap. I was like, oh shit! Like that's a big announcement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that was dope.
The Marvel versus Capcom Fighting Collection comes to Switch this year. It has X-Men, Children of the Atom, X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Capcom, Marvel versus Capcom 2, and The Punisher, which is
Yes.
apparently some arcade beat 'em up game. Like
Yes,
Street
it is,
for
and it's
Eight.
excellent.
I never played The Punisher.
It's in my arcade cabinet.
So
Sorry.
that was my take when I was watching, and I was like, so did they just like put the 1-Up arcade like on a disc? They're like,
Pretty much. This is the newer version of the 1-Up arcade, because the one I have is the older one that just has 3 of those games.
Mm.
This one has all the games, so I think this is dope. I'm getting this.
I wonder how much it's going to cost. Do you think it's full price?
I think it's full price. Yeah.
Yeah, 60.
With the number of IPs in this, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're
wouldn't
probably
be,
right.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's more.
Right.
Yeah, because those are games. With heavy
Capcom is
content.
the same folks that they sold us. Didn't they sell a Street Fighter 2 for like $60?
Yes.
on Switch. They're like, here's your Street Fighter. It's the old Street Fighter and just costs a lot more money. They did that earlier in the Switch, right? And I don't have that wrong?
They did.
Yeah.
That's correct. It was a Street Fighter HD. Yeah.
It's like Street Fighter 2 Modern Edition or whatever. It's like,
That's
man.
literally what it was. It was just Street Fighter 2 looking prettier. I go, okay.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't find where I saw it, but somebody was saying how this did not seem like it was the best place to announce this. They should have announced it at whatever that fighting game,
Evo.
Evo?
Evo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
This was good.
So that's Marvel vs. Cap. Speak of another game. This is not coming to Xbox at all.
They like fuck Xbox.
They're just skipping it. These are old games.
Oh
and they're
my God.
definitely not coming to Xbox.
That's like telling.
Yeah.
They really don't like Xbox. Xbox is
These games, especially, I mean, two of them, Marvel vs. Capcom's iconic. It is still a very prominent game in the fighting game community. Like, they play the shit all the time every year. So, yeah, it's a pretty good get. And surprised that it's kind of taken this long to get here, actually.
I agree.
But I don't remember. Again, you got to recall, I'm huddled over my desk trying to watch. Does this have online multiplayer?
I think it is.
Yeah, I thought I saw them saying something like that. You guys would be proud of me too, by the way. So I'm sitting there in the command center. Elections using my system. They're all trying to do their thing.
Yeah.
The guy comes over to me because they're having a problem in the middle of the direct. And he's like, "Hey, Donnie, can I talk to you?" And I was like, "Hey, just give me like 10 or 15 minutes." He's like, "You working on something?" I was like, "It's really important. I got to finish this. Like, give me a few minutes." And I'll be right there.
I would have such a hard time doing that. I can't say no ever.
I looked down and I realized that we all I think we had there was 7 or 8 minutes left. I was like, I can wait.
10 minutes.
Yeah, like what's 10 minutes gonna that's not gonna hurt anybody.
Meanwhile, like your entire state is on fire. Like
That's fine.
It'll be fine. Yeah. This is the least that we could do. Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Let's go, baby.
On Switch next year.
Why not sooner?
Speaking of, that's a good question. Speaking of more mobile games from Apple Arcade, here comes Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Launch this now.
I want to play this, but I don't know if Delvin's being sarcastic, but I'm being serious. I want to play it.
Of course I am.
I'm
not playing this.
You might. I don't know your life,
Absolutely
Delvin.
not. No.
I
can tell you right now, I'm not playing
this,
Hello Kitty.
But I did not want to pay for Apple Arcade, and I don't want to play on my phone.
So I have Apple Arcade,
Playing on phone
and we have this game installed on both of our Apple TVs. I have sat down my wife with a controller and showed her how to play it. She has never touched this game one time.
Really?
There you go.
She won't play it unless it's on the Switch.
Maybe I should try it on Apple Arcade before I commit.
So now that it's coming to Switch, I actually think I could probably get her to try it. Like now she would probably try it.
Yeah.
Everything that I've read about the game is that it's very good. If you're looking for like an Animal Crossing sim clone,
You can meet Hello Kitty and be friends with her.
I'll tell you,
It's
it's hilarious.
And Rio characters.
The opening of the game is funny as hell.
Really?
You're on this airplane, and Hello Kitty goes to get you like some cake, but then the cake machine goes bananas and starts shooting cakes at everybody, and everybody just has to jump out of the plane.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, what the? You just see people, they just go off with no parachute, and they just like, whoa,
because of cake.
This got dark.
Yeah. That happened to me before. She just
Okay, Rebecca.
Woo!
This holiday season, Stray comes to Nintendo Switch.
Got all my Stray merchandise. I have the world's largest official merchandise of Stray collection.
That wouldn't be hard. It's just like you.
Anyway, I am very excited, and I hope there's a physical.
There'll definitely be a physical, I think. Right?
Yeah, it has to be.
When I was watching the direct, huddled in my corner, I didn't think the game looked very good.
Yeah, it probably won't, but I think there will be a Switch 2 upgrade.
I caught a clip of it afterwards on Threads that I thought looked better. So I was wondering if maybe it was my stream. Did you notice anything like that? Did it look bad?
It looked fine. I think it'll look better on the next Switch. I don't really care. It's a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I actually agree with you. Yeah, no, I beat it. I liked it.
I beat it too.
The next game on my list is Funko Fusion, which I plan on buying.
I'm
Probably
definitely
not
buying this.
Not day one, but I'll be there on a sale or something pretty quickly. I
Day
think.
one, I'm all
You're gonna
in.
be there all in. You're not gonna get on Switch though, right?
I might get on Switch.
The Switch
This is
version,
the most
like the
millennial
trailer,
game.
the trailer,
Yes.
the Switch trailer looks way worse than the console trailer. Like I would implore you, get on Steam Deck or PlayStation or something.
Rebecca, they made this game for old people like me. Like, you
And
want to play
me,
as
I'm getting
He-Man?
it too.
Like, let's
It got
go.
Chucky and Scott Pilgrim in it. Like, I want to
Okay,
get it.
wait. They said because they were showing it and they're like, and Back to the Future, but it was like
Mhm.
Scott Pilgrim.
Well, it's all of it. They're
Yeah.
all in there.
Yeah.
Yes, it's both.
What they showed looked like Scott Pilgrim, and they said it was Back to the Future.
I'd have to go rewatch the
Yeah,
trailer.
they showed Marty McFly.
Yeah, they're probably running together.
They
Or
showed
running
them really
by the
quick.
DeLorean or something.
I know because I have that Funko Pop they showed.
Rebecca and I were talking about this while we were waiting on Delvin earlier, so we can get back into it. I did not think the Switch version looked particularly good. That was my takeaway. I was like, okay, so don't play this game on Switch. Got it.
Okay.
Secondly, I don't think gaming circles are going to embrace this game at all, so I don't expect it will review very well. But every time that I've seen it, and I've seen like the Game Informer hands-on, and I've shared a couple previews in our Discord over the last couple months, I think it looks fun. Like in a
does.
Lego game kind of way. Like, and if you're into those franchises, like the whole thing is that there are all these dimensions that are like colliding on itself. It looks like somebody's trying to go around and collect them all, and you have to like save the universe.
Yeah.
That seems fun.
If only they had a game like this before that could have been really popular that they just didn't get back into. Maybe a Lego one.
Yeah, Lego Dimensions.
Lego Dimensions, yeah, maybe.
It's
This is
definitely
great.
got like that Skylander vibe. But they
They
got
should let
Chucky
you
like
buy Funko Pop to put them in the game.
in the Chucky box, like in the actual Good Guy doll, like the factory. They had Chucky in the boxes and stuff. I gotta get it. I can't not get it.
Yeah, I like it. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, if I get like, I'm already trying to map out my finances. This is on those. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be there day one or not. It depends on like how my gift cards and everything work out. If I've got the money, I'll do it. But if not, I may wait.
This can't cost too much.
I mean, it's gonna be a full price game.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Really?
be $60. Yeah.
It's like 40 max.
I was thinking 50, but I guess 60 makes sense. Long as not 70. 70 seems sense.
I think it's gonna be full price because
70?
there's like 20 or 30 franchises, and you're like, there's a lot. There's a lot
You
of
think
stuff.
it's going to be $70?
It might be.
I don't think so.
PS5 version.
But it might be. It might be.
Yeah, like, here you go.
Price,
That's-
start high, so you can always
That's
come
insane. That is insane.
down. Rebecca, Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. got
Okay,
announced.
literally on Sunday, I talked about how
I know.
I have been playing the first Ace Attorney game and I'm really digging it. And now this is like a Japanese exclusive game.
Well, one of them is.
One
Look at
is
this
it one
this interaction we missed. Rebecca, I'm identifying as Gen Z, and I don't have to claim this. And then Josh's response, cringe. Sorry, Rebecca. Continue with your Ace Attorney.
Yeah. So by
Objection.
the time this comes out, I will have played all, the others.
I think Funko Fusion is going to be better than Ace Attorney.
That is like, first of all, not even true.
Did you see
Whoa!
the snap?
How dare you?
Funko Fusion?
It's going to be way better than Ace Attorney Collection.
Yeah, okay.
Does
not even
Ace
funny.
Attorney have He-Man, Rebecca?
Yeah, there's no
He-Man.
Chucky in Ace Attorney.
the legendary cartoon character from the 80s that mostly is. Fuck is this shirtless guy?
So this game will include Ace Attorney Investigation Miles Edgeworth.
He's
And
so
in
funny.
English, for the first time, Ace Attorney Investigation 2, Prosecutor's Gambit.
Yeah.
That's
You're
cool,
lucky I
that's
didn't
cool.
put this in the too long didn't read category.
No,
I didn't
stop.
just
That
for
is
you.
not. No.
Ace Attorney games are fun.
It's very funny because this game was, since it was a Japanese exclusive, it has gotten a fan translation. And I saw people losing their minds over the characters getting new names. Like, they
People don't like it when you change stuff.
yeah, like the fans called one girl like Justine or something, and then now she's called like Verity, and like
Well, hate to
yeah,
break it to you fans, y'all was wrong.
Yeah, like you're not. It's not your game. It's their game. They can change whatever the fuck they want.
Hate to break it to you, you were wrong.
If you don't like it,
Mhm.
make your own game. Like
Literally.
If Mother 3 is ever translated, people are gonna be like, that's not
Right.
in the fan translation.
I'm honestly eager to see how Clock Tower shapes up in this
Yeah.
because I've played 2 of the fan translations. I'm wondering how different they may be.
Wait,
I'm
let
really
me
excited for that game.
let
I
me
haven't
read,
played that version.
Me too.
let
I've
me
only
read
played
about
the PS1 version, which is 2.
Correct.
Clock Tower this, Clock Tower that.
Legendary game.
Also better than Ace Attorney.
Both games have been given the full HD treatment, including all new designs for the chibi characters. Classic pixel art style is also available for a more retro vibe. You can select chapters at any point, autoplay, and story mode. So there's lots of good quality of life. I like when they showed you can turn on and off the retro filter,
Yeah,
and
that
it
was
looked
cool.
it looked really nice.
Yeah, you love
But
that.
the
quality of life
graphics look
stuff.
very crisp and sharp anyway. It looked really good.
This direct was packed full of nostalgia,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah.
is the best card that Nintendo can always go back to, when they're in a spot, as they're just throw some ROMs on that motherfucker, and we all get excited. They're like,
Works for me
yeah,
every time.
it works every time. It never doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
The next game in this category to close out our second and third party partners is Mio, Memories in Orbit. This is a game where you get to play as an android named Mio in a mesmerizing Metroidvania where you explore the vessel, an enormous technological ark overgrown with machines gone rogue. You uncover its secrets, you enhance Mio's abilities, and save the spaceship and residents from oblivion. It's being published by Focus Entertainment. The developer of this game is the developer of the Shady Part of Me, which I played a couple years ago and was excellent. A very good emotional platformer, limbo grief sort of thing.
This looks amazing. The art style looks so beautiful.
It does look very good. I've seen people,
does.
obviously they go to the recent Prince of Persia game, Hollow Knight. I thought the way the character is moving, I just got serious Ori vibes, which I feel like we're all kind of saying the same thing because clearly these are all the same games, but I draw clear lines of delineation between them. Hollow Knight isn't Ori, and neither are Prince of Persia. They're all Metroidvanias, but they're not the same.
Yeah.
This felt like an Ori Metroidvania to me.
I got Ori vibes, and I also got, I know it's not a Metroidvania, but visually I got Child of Light vibes.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, when I think Ori, I think of when you upgrade Ori and get all of Ori's abilities, the game, you almost fly. You can just kind of zip and boost around. That's kind of what I was seeing, and it's kind of quick and it's fast. Whereas Prince of Persia is way more combat focused. But almost every time I saw anybody talking about this game, they kept talking about Hollow Knight. I don't know, maybe I missed something because I was I think Hollow Knight and this game are very different
I
games.
think that's just on people's brains right now.
Maybe.
It's just what they want to see.
But it was a cool game and a nice, indie thing, a nice little indie spot. And it stuck out. It stuck out in this showcase.
It did. It was in a good time in the direct. It got, a good focus.
It's something that I brought up on PSVG when we did a big wrap up of all of the showcases. Something that I think the industry, if this is the standard moving forward, the Summer Games Fest, something this industry needs to get better at is this year we just shoved a bunch of indie games into showcases.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is that it's not that they all look the same. It's that there's so many of them. It's hard to keep up with which one is what. And it's hard to it's hard to remember them all.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw 700 indie games. I had to write down a list of any things these showcases used to back in the E3 days. Curate. It would pick out and curate a list of any hey, here's 2 or 3 games you really need to pay attention to. And I think Mio benefited from that. I think it was here. I think Xbox did that. They had this mouse game. completely out of nowhere, but it stuck out. Like everybody knows
it made me
when you
play
say
it.
the mouse game, everybody knows what you're talking about, right? Everybody knows what we're talking about when we say Mio. That's what the other showcase. That's like what Jeff's showcase didn't have that. We need to get back to that.
It makes me wonder how this got picked. Why this one?
Yeah, I want to say, I want to believe that Nintendo's Treehouse folks, they play things and they picked out Hollow Knight. Like they picked out Golf Story. Like they play things and they're like, this one. Like we want to do this one. And typically, we can like put our trust in that. Typically, it's very good.
And then it becomes a household name like Hollow Knight.
Correct.
And Celeste.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and Shovel Knight on the top of my head, like these are all very good. So I will definitely be looking forward to playing Mio. I didn't write down a date. Maybe I didn't see it.
It's next year, 2025.
Okay. So yeah, that was the second and third parties of the direct. So now we can get into our main course, if you will, and start talking about the first party stuff. So we got spots for Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. We got another trailer for it. We got another trailer for Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. It's coming soon.
Thank God they didn't spend more than like 10 seconds on that.
Yep. And I kind of put these like in kind of an escalating order, I think. Mm-hmm. Switch Sports is adding basketball sometime this summer.
Looks interesting. Yeah.
We never got to. This is something that you should have been like, and it's out now. They were like, just get back to us later.
Yeah, but they made us wait like a year for golf.
Fair.
That should have been there the first goddamn day they made the goddamn game.
Thank
still
you.
Still don't have boxing. Switch Sports is pretty disappointing.
It fills in that last spot. It was very recent that somebody said that there's one spot missing here, and they called it that this was announced. It looks very boring to me. I'm sorry.
Did you ever play basketball on Wii?
Yes.
I liked it. I like the 3-point contest more than the actual basketball.
Very accurate.
Yeah. All right. Let's turn it up a notch. Nintendo Switch Online is getting another app for Nintendo 64 for 17 plus mature games. You actually have to download a separate app to launch these games.
And it's only those games on it. It doesn't have all the
so
other
you
games.
downloaded a whole app so you can get Turok and Perfect Dark. You just get the 2 games and the whole app.
What a stupid thing to do. But it's such a Nintendo thing.
Yeah, it is. They're like, we can't do this. Think of the children. Think of the children, Delvin. We can't have them
other games
finding Turok on their own. Oblivion is at hand. Will ruin them forever.
The violent Turok game.
My 10-year-old ass that played Turok and still loves Turok to this day. Yeah. They're like, we have to save them from this.
Stupid.
Yeah, but anyway, Turok and Perfect Dark come out. They're out now. You can go play them now if you want. If you download the extreme version of Nintendo Switch Online, you can play Turok and Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark, like GoldenEye, has online multiplayer. So you can play with your friends.
Where's Conker?
It's coming.
Well, it's going to be coming to the mature X-rated Nintendo Switch Online app.
Yeah.
They should have put like a really luring cover art. You mean like they already have a Nintendo store where you look at all those games? It should be like Blockbuster, like where you had the section behind the beads. Yeah. They should have done something like that with the icon. It's like, hey, no kids allowed. Don't you click on this. This is for parents only. You wouldn't like it. You wouldn't know.
And they should have the pictures like blacked out and just show a little piece of it.
Yeah. But Perfect Dark, that's cool. I love Turok, but like play the remastered version. Why play the old one? There's a beautiful brand new version of Turok. And for anybody that doesn't know, they had to like rebuild that Turok game. It's not like an up-res. Because of the way that game was made, like on N64, there was like all this fog. They never made like the tops of trees and stuff because you never saw them. So when Night Dive recreated, they had to make all that shit. So it's like a really great remake. Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, go play those. Also out today on Nintendo Switch Online, GBA, Link to the Past, 4 Swords. You can go Link to the Past with up to 4 friends on online multiplayer. That's awesome.
Donnie, can I tell you, I had this game as a child, and I liked Link to the Past, but I had already played it, right, on the Super Nintendo, and I knew that it was multiplayer, the 4 Swords part, but I thought, like, maybe there would be some kind of single player, blah, 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 blah. the number of times that I have stared at the title screen of Four Swords as a kid, not able to play it.
Yeah,
I thought
you can't
maybe
play.
like even with a, link cable, I could play with my friends if they didn't have the game. No, not at
Yep.
all. So I didn't get to play it until very recently when I played the DSi Anniversary Edition. This will be the first time that I'm ever going to get to play this game with people.
I think that experience is going to be the common experience. I think most people,
Yeah.
you were in a very rare class of people. If you had 4 siblings or friends that all had a GP and all had a copy of the game, like that's
Yes.
that's like where I grew up, I would say like the hood, but in my neighborhood where I grew up, like we didn't play baseball.
Good.
You know why? Because we didn't all have gloves and bats. It's a lot of shit. It's a lot easier just to have a basketball. We can all share
That's
that.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's kind of the situation here, and that's pretty cool. I think this game, this being added to NSO, I think will get well played, and I think I could see it being like a thing on streaming. I think I have a lot of streamers are probably going to pair up with their friends and play through this together online.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. That's good for them.
And
That's
it's
pretty
out
cool.
now.
It's out now.
It is.
In addition to that, we also get Metroid Zero Mission. So no Prime 2 or 3, but you get Zero Mission, which people love.
That's cool. I never played Zero Missions. I want to try
People
it.
love
It's
Zero
so
Mission.
good.
Yeah,
It is a very
people
short
love
game.
Zero
You can
Mission.
play it in like not that long.
Yeah.
It's like one long sitting or like 2 short sittings.
Like 5 hours. So there was a part of this direct. Like we didn't read them all in order. Where there's a part of this direct where I was starting to struggle.
Okay.
I'd seen one too many of those games we glossed over earlier, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? I was like posting gifs about yawning and stuff in the Discord. I was like, this is getting, and then out of nowhere, the Kong is loose. He's back. Donkey Kong is back. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD drops January 16th.
Donnie.
Let's go.
This game, I have yet to hear anybody mention this on my threads or in the Discord. You guys know that this game has been done for like 6 or 7 years, right?
I did not know that.
This game has just been sitting there waiting to be released at any moment.
Why?
This game was a part of there was 3 or 4 games that when Nintendo launched the Switch, because the Switch wasn't launching in China, Nintendo ported 3 or 4 of their games to the Nvidia and Shield in China only. And this was one of those 4
That's
games.
weird.
It was Twilight Princess, Mario Galaxy, Donkey Kong Country, and something else. I don't remember. I wanted to say Kart or something. So we got Galaxy in the Mario collection. It's like, okay, there's one. We've thought forever that that's where the Twilight Princess stuff, like that port is done. I guarantee it's sitting there because all you got to do is go YouTube it. Nvidia Shield, which is the same thing as the Switch, same thing.
Yeah.
In China, you can just buy Twilight Princess for your Nvidia Shield and play it. It's done. That game has been done for years. So it looks like for whatever reason, here we are 7, 8 years down the road. They decided to, okay, we'll give them Donkey Kong. It's like, what the fuck?
I went from so intrigued to nothing burger because it's just another remake. Like there has not been a new Donkey Kong game in like 8 years or more.
Well, yeah.
More than
Longer.
that.
Yeah,
10
longer.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm not gonna hate on it though. Like I was excited. Like I'm buying this for sure.
I'll hate
love
on it.
Donkey
I'll be
Kong.
the one.
So it's
They were
funny
like-
you were like, this is the part where the direct kind of picked up for me. I was like, all right, here we go. Like some good games, something I'm gonna actually buy. Because I wanted this then. I wanted all those games then, of course, but like I wanted this then. Because I have Donkey Kong, I have it on 3DS. I've played this game before, I had it on Wii. The HD version is gonna be better. Be better than that.
Way better.
It also comes with the 3DS had its own levels. They'll all come with this game too. So, and here's the thing. 3DS was pretty popular. I don't think everybody had this game on 3DS.
This was
Yeah,
on
I think
3DS. I thought this was on
They
Wii.
ported they did, but they did port it to 3DS at one point. But I think for a lot of people, especially there's a whole new generation of people, I think there's a whole generation of people who've never played this game. So, and I think it's a very good game. So I'm definitely going to rebuy it. I did tweet about this. Nobody responded to me. If it were me, I would position this squarely in the Metroid Prime price range at $40. I think that's the sweet spot.
I would
for
too.
it. What do you guys think? Do you think they're going to sell this full price?
20.
Oh, it's going to be way more than that. I guarantee it.
I think it'd be 40.
20.
40
Take it or
sounds
leave it.
Yeah, $39.99 would be a great spot for it. 60 would be like when you put it at 60 or 70, that's where you reach that Luigi's Mansion 2 thing where it's like, that's a lot for a game that some of us already have and I've already played, you know. But anyway, I'm excited for Donkey Kong. So we got Donkey Kong, we got Mario versus Donkey Kong. Now we get Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Get a new game.
The next game is the game that kicked off the show, and that's Mario and Luigi Brothership. The Mario and Luigi series returns. This game comes out November 7th and a very beautiful trailer. It looks great.
Looks great.
The style is very, very good. Most people are assuming, I think correctly so, because there's just not a whole lot of other teams I think would do it, that this is probably next level. The Luigi's Mansion folks, this is probably them cooking.
Okay.
And they do have tremendous animation, and they look very good visually. And this game stands out in that department. I was like, this game does look very nice. Unfortunately, though, I don't really like Mario and Luigi games, so I'm not going to get it. Like, it would take a review being like, this is better than anything you've ever touched before. Then maybe I consider it. But if it's like, it's Mario and Luigi still, I don't need any more of this in my life.
Can we just acknowledge how, like, they now have all 3 of the Mario RPGs on the Switch?
Yeah, like in
series?
18 months.
Yeah.
We've gone from Mario RPG to Paper Mario to Mario, which is like, okay, guys, we get it. You know, it's like the Good Vibes game where they all just predicted 18 turn-based. I'm like, okay, that's enough.
Slices.
That's enough. We've done it enough. But the style looks great. Like when at first I was like, is this cel-shaded Mario? Like, what the? This is awesome.
Looks awesome.
Was almost let down to see that it was a Mario. I was like, oh, it was like it was a Mario game. I would play this, but never mind.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe if it goes on sale or something, maybe I'll try. But like for right now, for me, I'm probably passing on that. What about you guys? You guys gonna get Mario and Luigi?
I'm definitely gonna try it. Looks cool. Looks fun.
I mean, you're usually most into most games. Like you, I very rarely meet somebody I think buys more games than me, but you would be that person. You do buy more games than I do.
That is correct.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, listeners. I saw a lot of love today for Mario and Luigi. I don't know where all of y'all been. I don't know where all y'all came from. I remember doing the show in the 3DS days. Y'all weren't there. Like, so I'm excited for you. I hope you go and buy the game, and I hope it's excellent, because 10 years ago, I knew one person like Mario and Luigi, and that was Kevin. And I never met another person that did until today. And apparently I found thousands of people that they're like, Mario and Luigi's back. I'm like, yo,
we were
where
all
did this come
hiding
from?
In the darkness.
Who are you people?
It's like it's the Star Tropics people. It's the same people. They're like, Star Tropics is like the best thing ever. I'm like, okay.
I know those people. Those people are assholes.
Okay, guys. Okay. Switching to a game that I absolutely am getting day one, and that is Super Mario Party Jamboree, which comes out October 17th. It features 5 new boards, 2 returning boards, over 110 mini games, the most mini games ever in a Mario Party game. And it has up to 20-player head-to-head online in Coop-athlon mode. The multiplayer is what got me.
Let's go.
The reason I was going to be on the fence is I've bought 2 Mario parties already on Switch. My kids and I play for a weekend, and we never played again. The multiplayer, like the game looked great. Like everything, it looks big, and I was like, this looks so good. And then they showed, and here's this multiplayer. And I'm like, okay, now I'm in. Because now I can probably play by myself with people online, because I don't expect my kids will play with me. I got one more thing I want to say, but I don't want to. You guys go. What did you think of Mario Party?
For me, there's already more content at launch than there was in Mario Party Superstars, which is like.
Is that you sure not Super Mario Party? Because Superstars was pretty good.
No, Superstars has 5 boards and like 8 characters.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Super Mario Party is the one where you have to use your Joy-Con.
Yeah, that one I didn't like as much, but the Superstars, that was like the greatest hits one. That was all the
that was the one that didn't have a lot of content.
That's the good one. That's the one I didn't uninstall.
Same.
Like, I play
that regularly with my friends on stream.
Now, like when we have family get-togethers, we bust out Mario Party, like Thanksgiving stuff.
The only other thing I have to say is I think this is a really stupid name.
Why?
It's stupid. First of all, it has the same like Super Mario Party as the other one, like it's the same logo, and then it says Jamboree. It's just stupid.
You don't like Jamboree?
You like
No.
Jamboree?
No.
You like
I don't know
Jammer?
why it's stupid. Like I'm not hating on you. I just don't know why it's stupid. Like, is there
It
a
just
reason why
sounds
it's stupid?
silly. It sounds like it's a silly. Like I wish it was like just like Mario Party and then like another word.
Okay,
Dang.
fair enough. I never even thought about it. To me, it's just
Super Mario Party made me think that it was going to be Joy-Con only.
fair. That's valid. What did you think, Delvin?
I think it looks cool. Looks like a lot of fun. If I had some friends, I can play it with people, but I
You
don't
get to
need
play online. You can play with us.
Yeah, there we
can
go.
play.
Mario Party 12. That would have been a better name.
Yeah, we get to play it
that.
online.
That's a little blunt.
We can play it together.
Yeah, that might
I'll
be
play
fun.
Mario Party with you. We can have Shaq Mario
let's,
Party.
Let's play Mario Party.
Yeah, I'm
guys.
totally down to that. I know multiplayer. I will play
I'll
Mario
try.
Party with y'all.
I'll do it. I'm down.
Yeah, that sounds
Yay.
way better than trying to play like Mario Kart 8 again or Splatoon
Comes
again.
out
It's like I'm
October 17th.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's so
I'm
funny
not
because this was a trailer. It won me over. Like we were talking about it in Discord. As they showed it, I was like, Mario Party, that's cool. And I was like, I'm not going to get it. And like 10 seconds went by and I was like, maybe I'll get it. Maybe on sale. And then 10 more seconds go by. I'm like, I'm definitely getting this game. Like 100%. What I wanted to say was there's been a lot of rumors speculating to the direct that we were getting a Mario Party. Makes sense. This is the sort of stuff Nintendo seemingly can crank out. I don't mean to demean it, but they seemingly have endless amounts of Mario Party stuff
I
to
feel
throw
like-
out.
But it'll make like 10 and just have them in the cup.
Yeah, it's like it takes them 12 months to make a Mario Party game, apparently. The thing that I thought of was I bought Mario Party and my kids and I, we used to play it a lot. And my kids don't play games anymore. And this became a thing for me because the day before yesterday, I told Jack, I was like, hey, there's a Nintendo Direct tomorrow. Like, do you want to watch it? He said no.
What?
It's the
Wow.
first time he was like, no, I'm good. I was like, what are you doing?
Why?
I'm like, you're just sitting here at home asleep. Like, watch the direct. He's like, I'm good. That's where my kids are. Like, my daughter stopped playing games years ago, and like Jack is like seemingly he loves games, but he's leaving this part of the gaming. The Nintendo stuff, he's into the Fortnite and Sea of
Is he in
Thieves,
middle
and
school or high school?
He's going into 8th grade.
Okay. I feel like
worry.
that's how I was maybe at that age also.
But it
He'll be
hurts
back.
because
He will.
it's like-
He will honestly, he will be
He'll
back.
be back.
it hurts because I'm like, I miss the days when we would all
I
get together and
know.
play Mario Party together. Like those were the best days.
Yeah.
You know? So
Just have more kids. There you go.
yeah, I could do that. Let's just crank out a couple more.
Don't do
It's
that.
not worth it,
Do
Delvin.
not
It's
do
worth it.
that. No.
Okay. Getting into the crux of the entire show. The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom was announced. And it
Donnie.
launches for Switch September 26th.
Delvin
around the
and
corner.
Donnie.
This game features Zelda as the protagonist, not
That's
Link.
cool.
Which we see in the trailer, Link gets swallowed up by some interdimensional rift,
Yeah.
and you take over as Zelda, who's
Link's in
carrying
the
a rod.
multiverse.
She doesn't have a sword.
I don't know why I didn't give her a sword. Just give her a sword.
She has a rod that can copy elements of the game. So you're not like building things like Ultra Hand in Breath of the Wild, but it is like Breath of the Wild-esque where all these things you can come into contact with, you can copy and like conjure at a moment's notice. So in the game, they show her to like, she creates like water blocks that she can swim through, or she uses a bed to cross like a river, or she like, somebody goes to hit her and she drops a rock and they hit the rock and then she picks up the rock and hits them with it. It's incredible. For me, it was incredibly like creative and inventive and feels refreshing. Like I was like, this is going to change. Like it's still Zelda. You're just playing a Zelda game, but you've never played a Zelda game like this. And I was like, that's fucking awesome.
I have so
Like I
much to
can't
say.
wait. I thought it came off like, it's not necessarily the physics, but like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. The DNA of like the Breath of the Wild
Tears
Zelda
of the
game
Kingdom.
is there. Yeah, Tears
Yes.
of, like it's there,
Yes.
Yeah.
but it's refined. it's probably structured. It's probably a little bit more rigid, but like they still adapted like that design to a 2D game, which is something I don't think I would have ever expected them to do. And I don't know why, but like seeing it, I was like, this, I never expected them to venture down this path. I'm glad that she doesn't have a sword.
Oh, he's
He
gone.
canceled himself.
Anyway, time for my thoughts.
Oh, the whole show got
You just
canceled.
got knocked off right in the middle of my
Oh,
point.
the whole show got canceled.
Yeah.
You said you're glad she didn't have a sword. Like, fuck this.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Hopefully we're still online. Chat. Somebody let me know.
Yeah.
So I'm glad she doesn't have a sword. I hope it looks as fun to play as it looks, because here's the thing. I think this, with like the combinations that seemingly are here, this could be like that viral game that we can all play, but then people are like, hey, but did you try this? Did you know this? Did you know you could like conjure a bottle and put somebody in a bottle, or send a parrot at them to pick them up and take them away?
Same
Or
things we were doing for Breath of the Wild.
exactly. It's like the TikTok for this game is going to be off the fucking charts.
I am just so elated that we have a brand new 2D Zelda game. For years, people are like, yay, I can't wait for them to remake Oracle of Seasons and Ages. Oh my gosh, what if they remade the Minish Cap? What if they ported Breath of the Link Between Worlds? Bitch, where's my new 2D Zelda game? What is Grezzo doing? They're sitting on their asses.
Goddamn
What
right.
I've been waiting for. This is what I have wanted. The last new 2D Zelda, top-down Zelda game was Triforce Heroes. It's going to be 9 years.
Also
9
Grezzo.
years. And
This
that
is
doesn't
Grezzo,
even
right?
count. This is Grezzo.
That's awesome.
Another cook. Like the synergy.
I'm so happy. I'm just so happy. And like people have said to me, they're like, I thought you didn't even want Zelda as a playable character. I don't even care. I'm glad that they're experimenting with it with a top-down game instead of a 3D game. I feel like it's going to work a lot better.
So I don't mean to jump in front of you here, Delvin, but let's talk on that. I don't think we're only going to play as Zelda.
It seems like in the beginning you're playing as Link until like he falls.
Until he falls into the thing.
So I'm wondering if, like in Link to the Past or Link Between Worlds, when you go from the overworld to underworld, when you flip, I'm wondering if you play as Link.
That makes sense.
I don't think so. They would have showed it.
They didn't show anything
probably
about
still
that
can.
dimensional world. They didn't show anything about the underworld, right? It was all
No.
overworld stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that's like the flip here, if that's a yin and the yang.
I don't think you go in there.
Really?
Really?
You don't think there's any underworld at all?
No.
That's like every one of these games has an underworld. That'd be surprising.
You see her running from it in one of the parts of the trailer.
No, you might be true. I mean, yeah, you make a point, but like I'm just past history just has me expecting there'd be something else there. But you might be right.
I think maybe at the end of the game you might,
When you
but I
reunite
don't think
together.
you go back and forth.
See, and I would hope by the end of the game that Zelda's leveled up where you were playing. Like I want to finish the game as her. I don't want to just like assume Link and then beat the final boss. Like I want.
No, I think you play the whole game as her.
That'd be cool too. I'm not
Except for the
against it.
beginning.
I'm not against it. But when I first saw it, I was like, I wonder if that's the thing. If you flip and go back and forth, because I think that would be pretty awesome.
No, the thing is the echo mechanic.
Well, yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
So Zenith, he brought that up in our Discord. He pointed out that her staff is assigned to like one of the D-pad buttons, which opens up the idea that like there's 3 other buttons there. So she could get more than just the staff. I mean, at the very least, I'd hope she'd get her bow. Like, definitely get like was the bow of light, like and do that too. Like that'd be cool.
I do want some kind of more like direct combat.
Yeah.
Like I know
you
that's
gotta
not
earn
the
it
point of
later.
the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I
I
will
was
miss
thinking-
sword fighting.
I was thinking
I want a sword.
you conjure an army of minions to fight for you, and then you join the battle with your bow too.
That'd be
So
cool.
I conjure 3 or 4 people to sword fight, and then I sit from afar and like pick them off and do other things. Like that's kind of where
Work too.
I'm like you're mixing and matching the rod and the bow, and maybe they give you something else, and like you kind of use all of them at once. It's kind of where my head was.
What I want to know is when you copy these things as echoes, like how many of them can you store
Yeah, what's the
at one
limitation?
time? Like,
Yeah.
do I have it forever, or is it like maybe you up?
Does
maybe
it
you
use
have to upgrade
magic?
your
Do you have like a
slots. You might have
magic
to
meter
upgrade.
or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my thing too. I was like, how many? Like, you've got to be limited. Like, I can't just spawn 100 people. Like you can only have like 3 at a time or something, I would imagine.
Mhm.
There's got to be some limitation to it. But I am expecting somebody to be like, I beat Ganon using a soup ladle in a bottle. You know, like, that's kind of what I'm expecting. You know, like I chewed some chewing gum and stuck it to his shoe and shot an arrow at the sun and he died. You know, it's like, what the?
I beat Ganon's ass with a folding chair.
Yeah, I fucking dropped a futon on that motherfucker. You know?
Stop it.
That sense alone of like just watching somebody like try to win like that, like I literally threw the kitchen sink at him. Like no shit, no, I actually threw a kitchen sink at that mother. You know, like that's the kind of thing that I'm thinking about. I'm not acknowledging that.
Hey, you got him to stop.
I'm not going to acknowledge that. Delvin, any other thoughts?
I think it looks great. Looks really fun. I'm excited for it. I think it's a unique twist on a classic formula, and adding the whole, which I didn't even think about till you guys said it, that the whole Tears of the Kingdom thing, and like you can kind of like create cool new things with it. I'm digging it in the 2D platform. Like, yo, this looks cool. I'm
You could
excited for
also
it.
jump over the trees. You were able to, like, you know, in Link's Awakening, where you would have to go a certain path to get around the
Sure.
trees.
Yeah.
In this one, if you have the right items, you can like vault over the trees.
And when they did that, that was like a jungle, right?
think it was.
Yeah.
Is there a
Yeah,
jungle?
there was a parrot.
Is there a jungle in like A Link to the Past? Am I missing something?
No, not really.
So I think there's a lot more new stuff here than people might be thinking.
Yeah,
And I think Nintendo's maybe playing coy with the trailer.
maybe those riffs
and
can
we
bring
didn't even
things
mention,
in,
like,
too.
In the trailer, she has the spot where she walks to the cliff and looks off like Link did in Breath of the Wild, and you get to look over Hyrule, which looked dope. It's in the Link's Awakening remake engine, like the style. It's got that chibi toy diorama like look. It does not have like the daydream blurred edges of the screen like
I
Link's
didn't
Awakening
notice
did,
that.
which I was very happy about. It also looked like it was running well, which is like when I first saw the style, is the first when I saw gameplay, I was staring harder, but I was like, show me the frame. Like, show me the frame. This shit better not tank like the last one did.
I would hope not. They've had
It
several
looked good.
years to perfect it.
It looked good. I'm very excited. We have a brand new Zelda game coming.
People are
This direct-
speculating over the map, Donnie. Before you keep going, have you seen any of that speculation about how it
I've
looks
seen very
eerily-
little. I only know what Hero
eerily
Shade posted.
Eerily similar to the Link to the Past map.
I have seen that
Ooh.
because he posted that.
Mhm.
And that's what I was trying to say, because I saw the jungle. There was like palm trees and stuff. And I'm like, now it's been a minute since I played Link to the Past, but like I don't recall a whole bunch of that. So I think maybe I do think the landmarks might be the same, but I think other things might be different. I think there might be some special sauce here that we don't know about.
I just appreciate that they just find a way to keep coming up with like Mario and Zelda games, like at a moment's notice. Like, here's another Mario game, here's another Zelda game, like that. I'm like, yeah, this is
Well, that's
dope.
their
And people
shit.
Like,
You know, they tell you that they like to try and have a Zelda game every year of some
I
kind.
did not think we would get a new Zelda game every year.
Same.
I didn't
I
either.
This
thought
whole
for
direct
sure-
going into it, I was expecting ports and remasters. We have a
And they're
brand, not
vastly
just
different.
we have multiple brand new games.
We have 1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
I didn't have that on my banger
Four.
list. If you'd given me the over under on brand new installments, I may have said 2.
5 brand new first party games.
Yeah,
That's dope.
that are coming out this year,
Mhm.
or like barring one that are all coming out this year. And I think if I have this correctly, I didn't write it down,
6 technically.
but I think if I have this correct, if you count Luigi's Mansion, Nintendo World Championships, they have a game out every month through January.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
They have a game. They have a July game, an August game, a September game, an October game, November game, December game, January game.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna hold you, but these other companies need to take note. Like Nintendo has been constantly putting out exclusive content.
Do you know how
for
they do
their
this?
system. How?
I'll tell you how they do this.
Okay.
So they have a bunch of teams, right?
Okay.
They don't have studios in the classic sense. You don't know them all. They have a few, but they have a bunch of teams. They're always
Mhm.
working on stuff. But here's what they do is that they'll make a game and stash it. And they'll just hold it until they need it. Like they don't just release it as soon as it's available. They will sit on a game for a year or
That's
18
great.
months. Like that Mario Party game, that game has been done. That's why people have known about it. Like that game has been done. There's a lot of games like that where there were a lot of people. I think it was Nate the Hate, who, by the way, if anybody listens to his YouTube channel, he had like this whole direct nailed yesterday.
Really?
He called it Hello Kitty. He called 2D Zelda. Like he didn't say like these are what's happening. He was like, I'm making guesses here.
Yeah.
And then in hindsight, it's like, no, you knew exactly what was happening. You got all of these right. But yeah, he points it out all the time that like the Kirby team, like that last Kirby game that came out, that was done for like a year before it came out. So their teams will make games and stash them. So by the time the game releases and you're like, man, this team is out, they're already well into their next project. That's how it feels like. How are they making it now? And I should also emphasize this. Their games, their style, they're smaller games, right? They're not as big, they're not as expansive, they don't take as much work, they're not as big a budget. Not all of them. Zelda is, but not all of them. So that helps too. But they just have a lot of teams working on a lot of things, and they don't just release them right away. So it's not like on the Xbox and PlayStation side, game goes gold, studio launches game, you don't hear from studio for 6 years.
Yeah.
Nintendo's not operating like that at all. It's a completely different way of looking at it. By the time that game comes out, they may be 2 or 3 years into the next game. You don't even know about it.
Wouldn't it be funny if the next Mario Kart game is done and they're just holding it for the next system?
I think a lot of people think it is done.
And like it's been done for years.
On it for
and
like 6 years.
They decided to like make DLC instead after they were done the next game.
And for example, that's why I brought it up, because I was surprised that like I feel like people forgot about it. And it's interesting because Nintendo Twitter is like usually really good at like all of the details. That's why I brought up that Donkey Kong game. That game has been done for like 7 or 8 years. Just YouTube it. You YouTube it, see people in China playing that game 7 years ago.
So wait, you can see people playing Twilight Princess on the Nvidia.
You can watch Twilight Princess on the Shield. Like that's documented.
What do they have to replace the Mii stamps?
They just got rid of it.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, they just got rid of it, and they took all the gamepad stuff out. It's just Pro Controller. You just play Twilight Princess, and it's Twilight Princess HD. It is the Twilight Princess game.
Wow.
So that's why I'm like, those games aren't like rumors. That's not vaporware. I'm telling you, they're there. Nintendo's just deciding when they want to put them out, but they're there.
Well, that's kudos to Nintendo for having the foresight to be like, you know what, work on your game. You don't have to worry about us cutting your studio and stuff like that. And once you get your project done, we can hold it for a while you work on something else and just keep the ball rolling and consistently putting out games. Well, maybe other studios need to kind of do the same thing or something similar. But you know,
I think Nintendo is
Xbox,
they're experts at like bleeding things out.
Yes.
They'll drop a Tears of the Kingdom and be like, we don't need to put anything out for like 8 months. They're like, we're good. Yeah. You know, like they're not constantly feeding that thing. Like they're very kind of specific as to when, like they only, like this Donkey Kong game, they could have dropped at any point in any year for all these years, and they just waited to now. They're like, we probably need a January game. Well, let's pull that off the shelf. Let's dust that thing off. Let's put Donkey Kong out. It's been a while. See, the other thing is, and I'm going to use this as an example. I mean, no harm. I'm not throwing shade at this franchise because I like it, but I'm just going to use an example to make my point. I think amongst gamers, there's some segment of people that feel like Horizon has been like a franchise that's had too many sequels too often, right? Like we've had, 3 or 4 Horizon games at this point in like, 8 or 10 years?
Yes.
I think Nintendo's very protective of their IP. Honestly, the reason why Wind Waker and Twilight Princess probably haven't come out is they're like, we don't need a 3D Zelda right now. We just released one like a year and a half ago. You know, so like they're very good with that. That's why we don't. I think like you don't see a lot of their developers do direct sequels. It's very rare that Nintendo does a direct sequel to a game they have. That's why you see Next Level. They go from Luigi's Mansion, now they're making Mario and Luigi. Right? They're not just making Luigi's Mansion 4. They're doing something else. I think Nintendo is really good at that. They don't have like the Mario team that just cranks out Mario indefinitely, like Gears, like Halo, like Horizon. Their
and
folks
that's what
can do
keeps
multiple
those
things.
Franchises interesting too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think the Donkey Kong thing was them going, it's been a minute since we put Donkey Kong out. Let's get a Donkey Kong game out there. And if you think about it that way, you got to think that they've probably got something cooked up for Star Fox that we'll see in the coming years. You know, because it's been a minute since they've done Star Fox.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably going to do something like that soon. So It makes sense to me in all the world that instead of the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess and the 3D Zeldas, because we just had them, it makes all the sense in the world. They're like, no, we have a 2D Zelda. That's why we've had Grezzo hard at work for years, because we wanted this to be
happy.
Here now. Yeah. Lastly, oh no, hang on. We have Hero Shade. He asked us some questions about Zelda. So let's answer those, and then we'll go to the hardware announcement. He asked, will there be traditional 2D dungeons that require special items, perhaps in the form of an object that you can only obtain the echo for in that dungeon?
Yes. I don't think it'll be what we think they are, though. I think that each dungeon will have like some kind of echo that you are meant to copy, like some kind of thing that you're meant to copy to solve puzzles in the dungeon and beat the boss. Like you might get to a room where you get to like, you know, something very specific that you're very obviously supposed to copy it to progress.
Yeah.
I
don't think it'll
gonna
necessarily be like a hook shot or like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't think it'll be items that we've seen before. It's going to be very unique things.
I'm inclined to agree. I think especially for like maybe the boss, maybe they have something that you really need to use on the boss, or it makes the boss easier. But here's where I'm gonna venture off and maybe take a stand. The nature of this game, to be able to create these echoes at any point, is to kind of spur creativity. So I think it's going to be somewhat open-ended. Like you can use this item and it'll help you, but I think the whole point is that like, but you can actually figure this out however you want.
Or you can strap 10 beds together to cross the gap.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Kind of like how in Tears of the Kingdom, like how many
Exactly.
people did the mine carts in the fire temple, or how many people just like took a freaking rocket shield and blasted their way to the top.
I just flew there on my little speed bike. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what I'm thinking. Like when you bring that sort of design approach to this game, you can't lock them into where like the traditional way. You need this to advance.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom inspiration here.
Same. The next question is will they allow us to tackle dungeons in any order, or will you have to approach them in a specific order?
I don't see them going back to tackling dungeons in a specific order. I think given the freedom and they want everybody's game to be like play it your way kind of thing. They even said that in the trailer. We want, you know, everybody to have a unique experience. I think that this will very much be tackle them in any order.
Yeah.
Think the same. I do too. I kind of wish it was traditional, like even for just story wise, I think it'd be nice, but yeah, I think I'm inclined to agree.
Even a Link Between Worlds, you could tackle them in any order.
It's been a long time since we haven't done that. So, and then last question: how many dungeons? Traditional 7, 4 more open ones. It's interesting.
I think it'd be a traditional 7.
Same.
I think so.
Yeah. An announcement that literally piqued my heart. The Nintendo Switch Lite Hyrule Edition system has been announced. It's adorned with a Hylian crest. It's inspired by the Legend of Zelda series. It arrives September 26th as well. Players who get the system can enjoy a range of classic Legend of Zelda games because it comes with a 12-month Nintendo Switch Online subscription for an individual in the box. It's gold. They got me with it being gold. If the bitch was green or white or black, I'd be like, nah. But it's gold. The whole thing is gold. I'm like, fuck, I'm about to buy a Switch Lite.
Yep, they knew what you wanted.
Because it's gold. It looks so good. We had a 3DS that looked very similar to this. The difference being the Triforce on the back is also inlaid with like a Triforce pattern itself. So it's flat gold with the gold Triforce, but then the gold Triforce is patterned with like little gold Triforces.
How much do the Switch Lites cost?
$199.
$199.
They're cheap.
Yeah, because I feel like you know, I definitely don't need another Switch. And
None of us do.
No.
It's year 8.
Especially with a new one on the horizon here.
But are we going to get one?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm going to come down from this high. Remember how I pre-ordered the Nintendo World Championship?
Yeah, but that's
edition,
fucking.
and then, like, 3 hours
nobody
later,
cares.
I
It's
canceled it.
NES games. We're talking about a Zelda system. It's Zelda. Is gold.
I
I'm
don't
with
even know
you.
if I boot this thing up. I think I might just like shelf
Put it on the
there.
shelf. That's all I'm doing.
just
100%.
put it
This
right
is a
Because
decorative item.
the Switch Lite that I bought from you, Johnny, with the atomic purple on it, I
Yeah.
intended for that to be a shelf item. And it was until I gave it to that guy over there.
And now he's like, yeah, but now you got to replace it.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Mhm.
It's gorgeous. Like I was like, oh, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking for me. Maybe you
No,
guys will
you're right,
agree.
because I feel like
It's
a lot
gorgeous.
of the special edition designs that they
Have
have
sucked.
done are so tacky and like kiddish. Like the
We said
Pokemon
this.
one was ugly.
We said this when the system launched that we wanted great special editions like we had in the 3DS. We talked about Joy-Cons and all this thing. And barring maybe a couple examples, we've gotten none of it. This
I
is like
feel-
the first one I was like, I have to get it.
I feel sad that it is not an OLED screen,
Sure, that would have been awesome. That would have been fun. I'm with you.
but I don't care.
Is this how, I want to ask you this. They're really, really close to surpassing the PS2 in North America. They're not that far away from outselling the PS2 as a whole. Does the Zelda fan faithful
Yeah.
come out in droves for the fucking Switch Lite and put them over the number?
Mm-hmm.
Can they get 5 or 8 million of these out there?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's
can
possible.
you go? Yeah, like how many copies of this game do you think will sell? 2D Zelda, brand new Zelda. It's got a big install base.
Like
10, 12?
whew, I don't know.
Not even that high. You don't think that high?
No. I think it'll be like 7.
7?
I'll
So
go
it'd be
10.
hard. It'd be hard pressed to get every one of those people to get a system. Then, I
That
guess.
would be the highest selling. Well, I think there will be Zelda fans that buy this that don't buy.
but don't get the game.
Yeah, I do.
Probably. I mean, there's always the collectors. You always collectors. They just want one. They just want everything. That's true. I gotta get it. And here's the funny thing, Rebecca. On my way home from the elections, I was trying to talk myself out of it. Like I literally was. I was like, "You don't need it. You're not going to use it. You're not going to Switch Lite. They're going to have a new Switch. You know, it's a waste of it." And I got home and I was like, "No, but I need it though. Like, but like I want to put it on the shelf. Like I want it. I want the damn. It's gold. Am I the only one that feels that way when I see the fucking gold card? I'm like, yes,
No,
I want it.
I feel the same way.
Gold.
It's gold, especially after the Tears of the Kingdom system, which for me was a letdown. I was like, I don't want that. Like I lived without that OLED. I did not want it. It wasn't appealing to me. If that was this, I would have bought it day one.
Mhm,
If it was just gold Triforce, it looked like I absolutely would have bought it.
mhm.
So I got to get it. I'm buying a Switch Lite. That's something I did not expect to say in 2024. I'm going to buy a Switch like 5 months before the Switch 2 comes out.
Hey,
The heart wants
It'll
what the heart
retain
wants.
its value though. This
might
is
go
an
up.
item that, yeah.
Look
Well,
at
yeah,
3DS
that's what I mean.
prices.
You keep this boxed and sell it in 10 years, like it's gonna be. It'll sell for like 500, 600.
Look at
more
3DSs.
dollars.
Sean sold his
Yeah.
Majora's Mask 3DS for like $1,000.
Yeah.
Like I gotta have it, and I'll probably take it out of the box though. I want to see it.
Yeah.
It looks awesome. I love it. I love it. All right, wrapping up. The show ended on Metroid Prime 4, which is now Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. We've learned that this game comes out in 2025, so there'll be a lot of speculation about that.
How did you feel when the text came on the screen? Cosmic Year, whatever, Galactic Federation.
Yeah, no, I 100% was like, yeah, that's Metroid.
Yeah, but how did you
Um,
feel? I'm not
I don't
asking what
have-
you thought. I'm
I
asking
don't have
what you
that.
felt.
I don't have that love for Metroid that you do. We
Yeah,
know
but
this.
it's been 7 years since we've heard anything. Oh my god, you're so boring. Keep going.
Wow. Wow.
Where's Devin? Get Devin on this show.
This isn't new. This is a long-standing thing. This has been a thing. I'm not that into Metroid that everybody else is.
Boo!
So I didn't lose my mind. Delvin,
Boo!
tell us about your many years of loving all Metroid games.
she's not saying boo. She's saying boo earns.
Because I don't think Delvin's the droid you're looking for either, Rebecca.
I said
I'm almost
Devin.
positive.
I said
Oh.
Devin.
Sorry.
Yes, the hot version.
Devin
of me.
Tyus.
Yeah. He's not going to get it either.
No, he's not.
I thought he
Absolutely not.
liked Metroid.
He does, not to buy another
He
one.
hates Nintendo.
He
And
doesn't like
more
3D
so,
Metroid.
He
He
likes
doesn't
to,
like
he
3D
likes to,
Metroid.
he likes to spite Donnie even more. So
He doesn't
he's
like
definitely not
3D
getting it.
I
He
had
doesn't
to
like
do
3D
two-
Metroid.
I had to do 2 wellness checks on people today.
He didn't get Prime because he doesn't do 3D Metroid.
Okay,
That's
that's
correct.
fair. I
He
do
got
prefer 2D
Dread.
Metroid.
and he's Super Metroid and Dread he liked, but that's
That's
it. That's
correct.
the only Metroid he acknowledges.
That's fair.
I like Prime. I think Prime's
Yeah.
fun. This looks cool. I'm not gonna like go woo, but yeah, I'll play.
See, attack him,
went-
Rebecca.
I
Attack
went
him.
woo.
Attack Delvin like you attacked me.
No.
I love
damn it.
Rebecca. She's awesome. I like how,
I
how
know.
she just sitting there like a hot Dr. Evil, just
Yes, embrace the Metroid Prime Beyond. Let it consume you.
I thought, I kid you not, it's the first thing I thought. And when I came home and I showed Jack, he said the same thing I said. I thought this shit looked just like Halo. When they walked out and you see the spaceship in the sky, I was like, they're literally making Halo. Like, I've seen this before. This is what Halo is like. And the hell of Jack didn't say the same thing. He was like, the UI's the same.
Well, maybe Nintendo will get it right this time.
Yeah, they'll do what Halo don't apparently, because
Yeah,
that was
one
my
of those
that,
Xbox
that
didn't
was
get
like
it
my
right.
overall take. I know there's like Silex stuff and all the other stuff. Like, I'm not into all the lore and all that. I can't speak.
I
to that.
am. I'm so excited.
I'm not going to act like. I'm just not going to act like I am. I'm not. I may or may not get it. I'm not like overwhelmed by Metroid. I love Metroid Prime. Didn't even finish it though. You know, so I just got to own up to what I am and be honest with that. I can't
I
sit
mean, you
there and be
have
like,
to feel
I'm a
something that the
giant
game
Metroid
that
Prime
was
fan.
announced in
Dread is awesome.
2017, the first year
I
of
like
the
Dreadborn,
Nintendo
yeah.
Switch. Can we acknowledge that?
Of course.
yeah.
The first
Acknowledge it.
year of the Nintendo Switch, this was announced, and it's going to come out in the last year of the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Speaking on that, I do think it's a Switch game.
Well,
do
they
too.
showed the Switch logo, so it will come out on the Switch.
Yeah, I think it'll come
I
out.
think
But
it'll
I
be
think
a dual
I think what we
release.
saw today was on Switch. I think
Yeah.
that's a Switch game.
Yeah.
I saw some people who were like, "This is what the Switch." I was like, "No, that's Switch. That's what Switch would look like." You know, I wasn't like, "That's got to be the next gen system." I don't think so.
No. that
Switch
is-
can-
No, there,
That is
there
Switch.
was a Switch logo next to it, so people can stop saying that it's not going to come out on the Switch. But I do think that there will be like an enhanced version on the new Switch.
That's what I was
100%
thinking
agree.
too.
Yeah, I agree, and I do think this will be like the Twilight Princess, the Breath of the Wild. They'll dual launch
Mhm.
this one. Yep. So this probably kicks off the next system with a couple other games, I imagine, which is what we've been saying for some time now. I do think it looks good. I mean, no disrespect towards Metro. I think it looks really good, actually. I mean, to say I think it looks like Halo is a compliment. It looks really good.
Yeah. It does
Um,
look good.
I'm sure by the time it comes around, the hype will probably get me. Like, I've bought most Metroid Prime games, so I'm sure I'm going to play it. But when I didn't finish the remaster, the last one, I had to like really reconsider. I'm like, I didn't finish Dread either. I'm like, maybe you don't need to be day one on these, Donnie. Maybe you're not a day one Metroid fan. I'm okay with that. I'll own up to
Day
that.
2's okay.
Yeah, I may be like a day 30 Metroid fan. And I actually think I'm probably more like, I actually think I may be more like Dev in that regard. I like Dread and Samus Returns and Superman. I like that more.
Well,
than-
2D Metroid is just better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I may be more in that camp, but it looks great. One of the things that I was expecting, not because it's ever happened before, mind you, just because of where video games are, I'm wondering if they have some sort of multiplayer play with Samus or with Metroid, and maybe that's why the game has taken a long time to play
Maybe.
or to
It
make.
wouldn't be the first time that a Prime game has multiplayer.
But I may be expecting like maybe they have like some sort of servicey. Maybe they want to like make a multiplayer platform play here.
Interesting.
And like actually have something that people can play for years. I think the timing is right. Nintendo's been really pushing a lot of their IPs into service-based multiplayer. And I think Metroid is, to use a term, primed for that addition to come to that series.
I think that would push a lot more sales if they did.
And it would make sense why they go, scratch that, we're going back to the drawing board, and 6 years later it's still not out yet. Maybe they're actually working on something. I don't know what that is.
Mhm.
Deathmatch, battle royale, whatever it is, but something. I think they may have something here, something beyond more than you versus me kills multiplayer, like something you can actually hook your teeth into a little bit. Like some sort of faction, something or something like that. I don't know.
The logo is a black hole and the title is Beyond. I
Yeah.
think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wasn't actually, they showed a lot in a very little time. They didn't give it a whole lot of time. It wasn't very long. They didn't go that in depth with it. They didn't even really get into the lore. They did like a little text and then a blurb, and then here's Samus, and here's the bad dude, and here's the big picture, and his explosion. You're out. Like it was brief. It was kind of quick for the one final thing. It was a teaser. It's just like, and that's it, and we're done. I was like, wow.
Enough to feed us after 7 years of waiting.
Enough to get the Metroid fans going nuts in all caps and stuff. Yeah. And I'm very excited for them. Metroid deserves it. And hopefully one of these can sell.
I'm really glad that they're not giving up on Metroid. Like, I feel like they had every reason to give up on it, and they kept pushing it. And like, I feel like it's going to be worth it in the end.
Yeah.
They've gave up.
Like, I feel like it should be one of their mascots.
They've gave up on other franchises that did more.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think, I said this about Tango with Xbox. There are series and franchises or developers that the financial numbers don't matter as much as what their inclusion matters to the brand. Bayonetta never sells well, but it's good for Nintendo to have Bayonetta in the stable. It does more for the platform than the game does on its own.
Yeah.
Right. So even if it sells at a loss, it's a net negative because of the perception of the console is stronger because it's there.
Yeah.
It's a good dose of variety. I think Metroid falls in that category. You don't want to get rid of Metroid. It appeals to a certain type of gamer that will always show up for that. Even if they're not 30 million of them, that's okay. Because they'll always be there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was the direct. So before we answer any of these questions and get out of here, what did you guys think?
I thought it was
This
fun.
direct it was better than it had any right to be with less than a year of the Switch's life left.
I was going to say, given the timing.
Yes. I thought it was a lot of fun. I came in it not expecting much and got a lot, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Even if stuff I didn't like at least they shooting. At least out there shooting shots and giving us some stuff, and there's a lot of stuff to be excited for. A lot of stuff not to be so excited for, but some good stuff there.
I would even say this is one of the best, maybe not but one of the best directs in the Switch's lifespan.
Yeah, I'd have to go and actually compare. I don't think I can remember them all. I think you're probably right. Like I said,
I would
for
say
me,
so.
the highs are so high that it reaches that level. It's just, does the filler drag it down at all for anybody? I think a lot of people just, I think a lot of people just they overlook it because Zelda and Metroid, so you don't care what was there.
Yeah, take in consideration some of the things that we consider filler. Other people are digging, like the whole Danganronpa
I don't know
thing.
about this one though. I don't think anybody's digging half of these games we read off earlier. I seriously want to know who Phantom Brave and Pharmasia and 100 Line are for. Like, who is that for?
Jace. That's
there's dozens of us. I thought it was I think you were right, Rebecca. Given the circumstances that we were in, I think it over-delivered probably beyond anybody's expectations.
Yes.
My expectations are pretty low. I was like, I think we're going to get a couple ports, a couple remasters. And I kept saying they maybe have one more game, one big game they can go around. Well, they had 3 of those and the ports and the remasters and a couple extras. I got to figure out how to pay for this now. I'm buying a whole damn system now. There's a lot more than I was ever expecting to come out of this. So I was very pleased.
Time to make some money.
Yeah. So pull that Haley things they're selling feet pics.
Yeah.
What?
You got to listen to PSXP. Rebecca,
she's not doing that.
You're not in the PSVG meta. You need to get into the universe and listen to the shows.
I don't believe it.
But yeah, what a year. What a year. We had Mario versus Donkey Kong. And what else did we have this year? We had Mario versus Donkey Kong. We had Paper Mario. What was the first thing we had to kick off the year? There was something earlier, though. I can't remember. Am I just thinking about Persia? I thought Nintendo had something else.
Prince of Persia. What else was this year? We don't talk about Peach. No.
Yeah, that was the other thing that came to mind. I was like, man, that Princess Peach game. I know some people think they like it, but this Zelda game looks a lot better than Peach. Yeah, it's like, wait a second. A lot better. This is way better. I thought I was missing something else. I thought they had something else. I don't remember. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This year looks pretty good.
It does.
Overall, I'm so stoked that we're getting a brand new Zelda game, and we're really just suckers for Zelda, especially you and I, Rebecca. All kinds of things can be forgiven if they just hit us with that dose of Zelda. We're like, okay, We're good. Thanks,
we were
Nintendo.
we would have been over the moon at a remaster or even a port.
A port would have been totally fine. Literally, you could have gotten rid of half of the things they did show up with and just given us the Zelda game, and I think we still would have been happy.
Yeah.
The fact that it's coming in September. When's the last time they announced a brand new Zelda game that's coming soon? One that we didn't have to watch 6 E3s for and go through 3 delays in a new system to get. When's the last time that happened? Link Between Worlds? That's like 10 years ago. It's been a long time. I don't think it's been quite 10, but it's been a minute. You know?
Age of Calamity.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Most people don't count those. I do, but most people don't. So yeah, I thought it was a really cool direct. I'm planning on buying a half dozen of these things. I want the Capcom thing. I want Dragon Quest. I want Funko. You know, I want the system and Zelda, Mario Party. Like I always say that's for me. That's how I grade these things. It's not a letter grade. It's nothing like that. The grade is how many of these things you're going to buy. You're going to buy some stuff. If you're going to buy some stuff, it's a successful direct. And for me, I'm going to buy some stuff.
Yeah.
There's 5 or 10 things in here that I'm going to buy. I'm going to spend hundreds of dollars. So it's pretty successful direct for me.
It's got your money. That's all that matters.
Got your money, and that's all that matters. We got your money, dude. So Rebecca, that's it. You're going to hit us with, we only got a couple questions this week. So
Yeah, you guys always come through with like 10 billion questions when we have nothing to talk about. And then when we have content, y'all are crickets. But we did get some questions. So
Because they want to hear from us,
yeah, I guess.
unfortunately. Still don't know why yet.
Captain Awesome 915
Great name.
asks, who do you think is working on the Mario and Luigi game? I mean, Alpha doesn't exist anymore. I hope it captures the magic of the previous games.
Nintendo. That's what's working on it.
Caleb chimes in and says, not a question. I have speculation that the new Mario and Luigi game is being developed by Next Level Games. Only that studio has been able to get animations looking like that level of quality on the Switch. And I think that might be it.
I agree. There's always a chance it could be one of Nintendo's internal teams, but it's probably Next Level. And they're probably doing this coming off of Luigi's Mansion, and this
Let
is
me
probably
look
the
at
next game.
level
So
so I know.
Next Level made Luigi's Mansion 3,
Oh, okay.
which is still like a visual showcase for the entire Switch platform.
Pretty game. I looked at
It's
Next Level and Close came up.
Incredibly, it looks awesome. And this style for this game looks awesome. Not in Mario Luigi, but damn, the game doesn't
It
look
does
great.
look really good.
It looks really good.
It does.
I hope people are like, Donnie, you're missing out. It's awesome.
Kyle the Pug asks, was I the only one who immediately thought Oracle remakes
Fuck you,
as
Kyle the
soon
Pug.
as
There it is.
as soon as I saw the Grezzo graphics before seeing Zelda as playable and the title card? No, I think
didn't
most
think
people
Oracle.
thought that.
Really?
I think a lot of people thought that because at the end of Oracle and Ages Link's game, have you ever done one of those?
No, I never played them.
No.
You
Me neither.
fight Ganon in like a circular room. And
Oh, okay.
like Zelda's in the next room over. So like a lot of
Well, that
people
would
were
show you
thinking
why I
about-
didn't think
yeah.
that, because I had no idea.
I thought for like a split second, I thought a Link to the Past for some reason when seeing.
So when I
Big
first saw the
Ganon.
style, I was thinking a link. I was like, is this the Link Between Worlds thing? Or this is what they're
That's
doing?
what I thought.
Yeah, but Ganon's not in that.
Well, I know that. When I saw that, I was like, okay, so that's not it.
Yeah.
But when I first saw like the style, the kind
Yeah,
of look, and they're going back to that chibi look, I was like, maybe that's what they're doing.
hmm
But I was pleasantly surprised to see it's its own
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. And then he also asks, would Super Mario Party Jamboree be worth getting full price just to play it with friends?
Yep, you can play
Yeah.
with us. Nintendo Shack plays
definitely.
Jamboree. Yep,
Yeah, there you go.
I'm down for online multiplayer Mario Party. I don't like that's something I'm actually here for, because it's not like that involved, and it can be super fun. We can get in Discord, have some drinks, fuck around, play motion golf or whatever they had. Like I like the Mario Party games because they're very trivial. Like you can win and actually lose. Somebody gets a star, so they're like, "You suck." You're like, what the? It's just kind of chaos.
Mhm.
There's no skill to it, I don't think.
Yeah, I like it. It's a fun stream game. Crawler says, was this the best direct of the Switch era? I think it's up
I'm
there.
inclined to say no, because
also
there
gonna
was
say no.
so much stuff.
Yeah.
So many things here that you could have just left out, and the direct would have been better. You just leave it off. But I don't know. I'd have to actually go back and look at them. But I would be inclined to say no. I don't think so.
I mean, if it's not the
gonna
best, I
say-
think it's like a top 3.
Yeah, I'll say top 5, and not 4, and not 5.
I may have to go into that. I have to look into that one day.
Because I remember watching some mid-ass directs.
If we ever have a
It
slow
got pretty
news
dry there in
week,
COVID.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
If we ever
we
have a
got, like-
slow, oh jeez, Frisk, oh god.
We got like Clubhouse 50. Frisk is fucking up our notes. Frisk is virtually fucking up things now. He's not just biting Rebecca. It's not just her house he's messing with. He's actually tearing Shaq apart from inside. He's in the Matrix. My notes just got erased, chat.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't get erased. They're there. They're there.
No, they're not there.
Frisk
I'm
just
looking.
took over the keyboard. He's fuck your couch. Fuck it. Start deleting everything.
I think next time we have like a really slow news week, we should like look at the directs that were during the Switch era. And
I would like
analyze
to do
them.
that
That'd be fun.
because
I'm down.
I think as we move into Switch 2, I think naturally all the podcasts are going to start doing like Switch retrospectives and talk about like 2017 and Odyssey. And that might be something that we can do that's like maybe a little bit different. Let's actually look at the directs, the announcements, and kind of relive those and kind of stack them up against each other. It'd be kind of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And finally, Yarden came in at the last minute with a question: Who won? I'm going to change this. He said June. I'm going to say who won E3?
Yeah.
Nintendo or Xbox? Fight.
Nintendo.
Nintendo saved E3.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because the whole time I watched this Nintendo thing, I didn't think to myself, well, this is probably going to go to PlayStation. That didn't come to my mind one time.
I'm going to
Well,
pick a
I
fight
watched
with
the
you
Xbox
about
thing,
that.
like, oh,
I'm going to pick a fight with you
Okay.
about that tomorrow. Because you said that on XP. So I'm going to pick a fight with you about that, but we'll leave that for now.
we'll leave
Like
that.
there's a big part of me that wants to say Xbox and I can make the argument for it, but I'm not going to. And for one specific reason. The majority of the Xbox things are years in the future. And the majority of the Nintendo things are coming
Or
out
in the next
before
couple
January.
months. Yeah.
And that is a huge difference maker for me. I don't
agree.
care how great and grand your announcement is. If it's 2 or 3 years away, while I've been waiting 2 or 3 years for the games that still haven't come out.
And
right?
that's my problem with Xbox.
I know that Zelda is coming out September 26th, and that's
Mhm.
enough. That's something I can buy right now.
Good point.
Xbox keeps telling me about all these amazing things that's coming up. I'm like, well, when are the amazing things coming up? I need the amazing things now at this point. Like, it's been years.
Yeah.
And they haven't, and to be clear, Xbox has a lot of amazing things that I'm excited to play. But it keeps feeling like the goalpost is being moved further. We are now pretty much at the end of these console generations.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
like
sad.
we haven't gotten.
That's the point I brought up. We were talking about
Yeah.
Sean, and I
no
was like, we
games.
don't know any of these games that they just announced. We don't even know where we're playing them. What are we playing that on?
Yeah. So like
we
might
don't
get to,
know.
we might get to the end of the console
We
generation.
bought this
Xbox is-
console thinking we were playing these games, and they're coming out in 2 or 3 years from now. We're like, I gotta buy another console again? Like what the
Yeah. I honestly thought we'd be playing Fable this year. Like really soon.
Fable
like now.
didn't surprise me. I knew Fable was
Like-
going to be a ways out, but like
There's a few of them I thought we'd be
I
playing.
thought
like
State
now.
of Decay was further in development. It was announced 4 or 5
Yeah.
years ago. Like there's things like that. Where you're like, damn, what is going on? But I
No,
at this point in time,
another
we'll see what happens in
thing
the
we
year.
should do, Daddy.
But at this
And I would
point in
do this with you.
time,
We-
Hellblade 2 is still my favorite game that I've played this year. So, that game did
I
come
agree.
out.
I want to say this. We should go to the first Xbox Direct when they announced the Xbox One X and stuff like that, and see the games that was announced, and
Yeah,
see what
I can
actually
see what
came
they
out.
were. It was
Okay.
Halo Infinite. It was Hellblade.
Okay,
Right? Like it was
Hellblade just came
Starfield,
out.
and they were
Yeah.
all delayed. They were all delayed.
All of
they all
them.
got delayed multiple years. Yeah.
Also, the fact that you're calling it the Xbox Direct.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
they call it too now. They call it that now. Yeah.
They
well,
do?
They should.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thieves.
Oh, hang on. I think technically it's the Xbox Developer Direct,
Yes,
but we all shorten it to the Xbox Direct. Yeah, but the term Direct is just a showcase of trailers delivered virtually. Nintendo has made that just synonymous with games.
yes.
It's a ubiquitous term.
Okay.
But yeah,
Well, that's it. That's all the questions
that's
we
it.
got.
That is.
made
That's we had no other questions, so that's all the show that you guys get.
You only can blame yourself for this. Your failures, not ours.
Maybe they needed time to digest it, and maybe we'll get
Give them
more
all
questions
day.
about this.
They got a whole goddamn day.
Everybody already did their React podcast like 6 hours ago. We're way behind everybody else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen it.
But yeah, so this is our show this week. So we have the weekend off.
Yes.
So you double
Really?
duty
Is
today.
that how that works?
Yeah, Delvin and I will be doing PSVG tomorrow, where I'll take him to task on this Xbox topic in more detail.
We're gonna argue
And
a lot.
then
Dev's
we'll
not
be
gonna
off
be
for
there
the
probably.
weekend.
So,
No,
What
Dev's
if
not there.
they
so,
Dev's gone.
so it's gonna be a 3-hour conversation of us arguing.
100%. So better prepare. I'm bringing notes.
I'm not preparing no notes. I don't use logic and
I'm actually
reason.
joking with you. I will tease it now. I'm actually really excited to talk tomorrow because I've been doing something this week that's kind of put me in a different headspace, and I'm kind of eager to share it. And I think it's
that's
gonna be
gonna be awesome.
fun. It's gonna be a
excited.
lot of nostalgia stuff, like some of the things I did on Father's Day, some things that I watched, some things that I played. I'm eager to talk about it.
Teaser
gonna be
for
cool.
that show.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have
I've
some
been
offers.
hanging on to it. I haven't talked about it in the Discord and everything because I want to do it on the podcast.
I have some things also I can bring to the podcast that happened on Father's Day.
So now you guys can tune in.
Yes.
Good times, great oldies.
All right, that is going to do it, Koopalings. I hope you enjoyed the June 2024 Nintendo Direct. I sure did. And there are lots of games to play. So get excited, get hype.
Yep.
And we will
Get a
see
Switch
you.
Lite.
Get a Switch Lite.
Get hype. Get a Switch Lite.
Yeah.
Delvin, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad that we got to podcast with you again.
Yeah.
for
By the
this.
way,
This was a
this
good
guy takes
return.
off all fucking month.
Yeah.
You know, just and decides to show up on the Direct. He's like, I'm going to be there for this one though. We should have told him
Goddamn
no. We should have gotten a game or something. Like, you know what? No. Take your ass back to the bench. You don't get to show up on game day and just play.
I am like LeBron. I just show up with his
You just hear
just come out.
Delvin's up here like, we're talking about practice, man.
Yeah. It's just like AI.
Game.
Yeah. It's time to show up, baby.
All right, Koopalings, we will see you next time.
Peace. Whenever you're ready.
All right. This is Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening. And I forgot the line already. What?